Oh, okay. He's here. We're just doing character introductions real quick, just in case we're about 8 sessions in. So I want to do it once every 8 sessions or so to have everybody reintroduce their characters for anybody new to the stream. And we have you kind of in the middle of the group as we are approaching Waterdeep, and we're just going ahead and giving a description as in what people would see as you're walking up to the Waterdeep. So a little bit of your look and a little bit of maybe the armor or weapons that you're carrying, just so we all have an idea of what Jarral looks like.
All right. So Jarral is he's kind of a charcoal dark skin, like a blacker kind of skin. He has red eyes, or red pupils. He's got a kind of a whitish gray with gray streaks beard. Not really a beard, more of a goatee. He's got very light, almost white hair. He's wearing a cowl, and kind of not so much a cape, but just something to protect him from the elements. But it has been corroded, and it does need to be replaced. It's very holy, and it's not really offering much protection at all. The cowl is mostly used for him to protect from the sunlight. He is a monk. He does not carry any weapons. The one weapon that he did have was a short sword that was disintegrated in the same battle that ate up his clothing, and that's pretty much it. He's carrying a sack. It's got some, darts and just normal supplies in it. He's a monk, and he really doesn't have much need for a lot of material things. He tends to stay out of the sunlight, so as he's marching up, he's trying to see if there's any shade during the day, and kind of walking in the shade just to kind of ease his eyesight, and that's about it.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. And usually towards the back, then bringing up the rear at this point, it would be Greybeard, our dwarf of our mostly elf or half elf party. We do have a dwarf with us, and I'll let him go ahead and explain his. Greybeard is playing also Greybeard the dwarf, so that makes it easy. And he's one of our Twitch streamers and other personalities on the stream. So Greybeard, go ahead and tell us a little bit of what people see when he kind of goes stumping by, a little bit about his appearance, maybe his armor, and maybe some of his weapons that would be seen.
Greybeard is normally very jovial and, big gesturing kind of individual. But the homecoming to Waterdeep is, how to put it, is bittersweet. It's where he took up being partners with Tigray, and Tigray's death has affected him greatly. He's become a lot more bitter than fun. He's also become apparently a little more humble since then. He's tattered. His clothes are got spattered holes eaten through them by the black pudding acid. He's down to 2 javelins in a quiver strapped across his back. He's fiddling with his great axe as he's wont to do, and he's got dual scimitars of horrible goblin make in his belt. He's dressed all in gray, like gray and black and red. He looks like a dwarven pirate, and he seems to be off in his own world, and then he realizes that the elves are way too fast for him, and so every 3 or 4 seconds or whatever, rounds, he uses a dash action to kind of catch up to the party, and then goes back to his kind of lumping, staring at the cobblestones in front of him.
Awesome. All right, so that's a quick look at our players as we so welcome to the stream for those of you that are new, and that's a look at our characters. We'll do that again down the road once we get through our sessions. But our weary travelers, our party has spent the day traveling. It is about noon as you approach the gates, and it's a busy, bustling scene at the gates as lots of people are moving in. There's every now and then there's inspections of wagons. Some get moved through. You see the common uniform of the Magisters of Waterdeep, which you're used to. And you're going to be entering in what is called the South Ward. So I thought one thing we would do is, as a group, talk a little bit about
that
see
bard.
it happening. Yeah, see it happening in the chat a little bit here. You guys will see that when I switch our character over for the stream. Is we get to decide where our tavern is. I'm hoping you guys would put it in either the South Ward or the Dock Ward, as you guys wouldn't be in any of the high priced areas, I don't think.
What's our bard look like?
There you go.
Forgot the bard.
Oh, Ardreth.
So Ardreth is a half-elf who's been overlooked since a young childhood. Often people would not even recognize he was in the room.
Yeah,
when
he's
things
like a
were
foot
going
back
on.
from the group. I didn't even know he was with them. Okay.
So Ardreth is newer to the party and came to meet them actually after some of the antics that occurred at Nightstone, and showed up when the orcs had arrived and traveled with them into one of the caves to fight the ogres and the black pudding and the goblins and the spiders and the other dark and sordid creatures of the night. Ardreth, of all things, has red hair, which he got from his father, and his last name Fairfirin just means half-elf. And so he grew up in a small community on the edge of the elvish woods and was relatively a well-adjusted child. Carries rebec with him and a flute, and the rebec's a small instrument that's played with a bow. He's got a long bow, a long sword, leather armor, and carries a short sword that he got from his father, a sax, which some dwarves have been known to take and decide that they should launch across the room as if it's some type of a nominal little dagger. But either way, he appreciates it. But tends to stay towards the back of the party as he's just getting accustomed to the new people in his group.
Awesome. Yep, sorry I missed you there. I don't know how I got ahead of myself.
Ardreth's used to it. It's okay.
I think it was all the chat. I was looking at the chat and I was thinking, oh yeah, we got to figure this out, and I missed it. So that's Brian playing our bard who came in. And we did have a fighter before this, if you had joined us, but she had bowed out of that campaign. So Ayla had went off to do other activities, just like Armel. We used to have a druid in the group, and Armel has moved on, although you guys will be meeting up with Armel throughout the campaign at different times. It will be a recurring character that comes in and out as things happen. So that'd be cool to see him every now and then. All right, so now we have all of our introduced party members, I hope. If I'm leaving you out, well, I am sorry once again. So I think we could choose, you guys could choose an actual Waterdeep tavern. There are many of them. You can find them online. There's lots of lists of different taverns and businesses in Waterdeep. I think we want to keep to, again, either the South Ward or the Dock Ward would be the areas that you would want to maybe choose from. Or we can make our own name up and we can just call it that, because there's plenty of inns and businesses in Waterdeep. So while you guys are thinking about that for just a second, then I'll let you guys discuss it and we'll come back to it. Let me give you a little snippet of as you're walking in. So as you guys walk into Southern Ward, which is where the gate is, to your left is part of the Dock Ward, and to your right is moving north is the South Ward. So the South Ward, known as the South Ward to all natives, is the first ward seen by most visitors who enter the city through the South Gate or the River Gate with the caravans. As much of its business caters to the caravan trade, it is sometimes called Caravan City, and with its plentiful forges, smithies, stables, warehouses, and sheds with coaches and carts for hire. Many common and poorer folk dwell in the South Ward, though the caravan trade allows for some local merchants to attain near noble status, at least in monetary terms. It is often dusty and grimy from the traffic from the overland trade, but this area and its people are mostly friendly and industrious, catering to every need of visitor and merchant traders. Tourists and visitors rarely idle around to look into wagons and warehouses, unless it is their business to do so, but the presence of guards, both privately hired and those in the watch, is obvious and lends much to the feeling of security about the trade goods and the business herein. One of the smallest wards in the city, South Ward had probably the least to do with internal politics, both social and monetary, of the city beyond the overland trouts. South Ward is, for the most part, the ordinary or commoner side of Waterdeep. The main streets within the ward are the Way of the Dragon and the High Road. You guys are entering in what's called the Northwest Moot, and then you have a road that splits, and the High Road is a little bit more to the east, but it runs north and south, and then a little bit to the west as it peels off, almost like a fork in the road, is you have the Way of the Dragon, and that to the west of the Way of the Dragon is the Dock Ward, and to the east side of the Way of the Dragon is more of the South Ward, and it also runs north and south. The South Ward, for most part, is ordinary commoner side of Waterdeep. The main streets, we talked about that. The Way of the Dragon forms the southern and western boundaries of the South Ward, and the Troll Wall is the eastern boundaries. The northern boundary consists of a mix of streets and alleys, things like Telshumbra's Street, a little bit of High Road, Sahatara's Lane, Caravan Court. All of these names you guys have recognized. Although you're not familiar with all parts of Waterdeep, you're probably mostly familiar with the part we're going to put you in Tavern that you guys work out of as a group. Overall, Waterdeep has basically it's a large city that runs north to south long ways. To the west is a mountain that sits right on the coast, and inside that mountain is what's also known as Under Mountain. It's many caves and lots of things are there. And Castle Ward is over near there. The Dock Ward is over near to the west, which is where the docks are. And then what they talk about the Troll Wall is it's on a cliff, and then it goes down to a plain, and that's where all the villages and farming communities that help support Waterdeep are located, as this is up on a cliff face. And then in the north area, you have the North Ward and the Castle Ward, and you have the City of the Dead, and I think that's all of the... You might have... I think that's all we need to know about. So you guys walk in. I'll let you guys kind of decide where would you like to have your base of operations. Do you think it would be in the Dock Ward, or do you think it would be in the South Ward?
Looking at this, all the information here, I would think that the Safe Haven Inn is the only place that we could put up for days. Everything else just looks like it's a tavern in the South Ward.
Yeah, and that's if we want to use one that is existing, or we could just name one and we can just make it up also, and it just becomes part of... I have a full map of all the buildings, and there's plenty of empty little spaces in there to put a tavern and inn that you guys could work out of if you want to create your own.
So is there a reason that it's just those two, or can it be anywhere?
I think with your monetary... with access to what money you have would be those two wards. I think it would be a lot more expensive in the upper wards.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, and then, we can bunk separate than where we hang out too. So, it's
Sure.
Sky's the limit, right?
Yeah. The idea that the group, when we started the campaign, was that you guys kind of worked out of a tavern or an inn. So that could be your base of operations for the group. It doesn't mean that's where you all have to be, but that's where you all meet up when you're going to take a job, or somebody comes to hire you for a job. That's the kind of thing we're trying to... And I assume that's where you're going to as you come into Waterdeep now.
I assume Greybeard's already got something picked out that he's trying to muscle into, right?
Well,
assuming.
How many taverns is he trying to get?
Yeah, pretty much every party he walks into.
Exactly.
There is the Grey Griffin.
I know, and I'm just thinking, where would T-Gray and Greybeard hang out? I'm kind of partial to that.
The Blue Mermaid.
Yeah, we can
Definitely.
For nostalgia's sake, I do indeed love Selune's smile, because it was where the adventurers of the old comic book were based out of. So
That works for me.
I mean, or we can, make it up or go to a tavern generator and hit go. What are you guys thinking?
I'm
For
down.
just going to sit at a table and drink, I'm all for Selune Smile as well.
Yeah, that works.
Sounds
for me.
good.
Yeah.
Or Saloon Frown now.
Turn that frown upside down.
We're gonna have a little picture painted of you. Put it on
So
the
we're going to
wall.
make that the group's home base of operations, Saloon Smile.
Sounds
Is that
good.
what I'm hearing?
I don't know anything about it, but I'm down with it.
Well, we'll change a little bit about it. I'll change like the people that work in it and a little bit of the stuff, but at least we have a name that kind of anchors us into Waterdeep a little bit. Okay, so you guys are entering the southern gates, and we need to kind of set up the idea of what the party's going to do. I assume they're heading to saloons. Now, for this level 4, we haven't really made you guys spend a lot of time training since we've been in adventure mode, almost from the minute you left Waterdeep. And we've done some small training montages to try to sort of explain how you got your new abilities. But I'm thinking what we'll do is that we should probably spend about 2 weeks in Waterdeep where you actually get real training from probably people that are trained professionals to train other people in the classes and things that you're doing. And that will explain why you've got to your 4th level, because now we also need to hear a little bit about your 4th level abilities and stuff. So also at that point, I think, if I recall, Jarral is going to be splitting from the group at this point. Is Jarral going to split immediately, or is he going to the inn with the group first?
He's going with the end. When everybody's leaving is when he's going to split.
Okay, so we're going to move into the inn, and we'll say you guys are walking down the street, and eventually I'm going to have a pretty detailed map of this, but we don't need it at the moment. We can just talk about it. And we'll put it out on... well, I'll look it up where it's at on the map, so I know where it's supposed to be. But we'll say you guys make your way there. It is a pretty busy place. You guys are used to it, the busyness. And you guys go ahead and climb on in the door. And it's noon, so you get the typical lunch hour type crowd. As you sit down and you dusting off the travel, all the travel dust and the grit and grime of the road. And you sit at a table, and we'll go ahead and have a server come up and ask if there's anything that you guys would like. And we'll let the group discuss what they're about to do.
So what is the specialty of the house?
Glad you asked.
And more importantly, does it have a small umbrella in it?
And a slice of fruit.
Yeah, let me... Oh, I had it up. Where did it go?
There's a link in chat.
Oh, is this the...
Oh, cool.
Let me take a look real quick. That might change my... Oh, yeah. Does it put her... Because I had a whole menu set up, but...
I'm not seeing a menu or anything.
So that's... Oh, that's Selune, the goddess, though, right? That's not the tavern, so it must be the other... The other link is the tavern?
The link just didn't come through well, and so it threw us to Saloon, I
Oh,
guess.
okay. Well, no big deal. So... Oh, that's where it is. Page 114. That's what I need to go to. I have a spreadsheet here. All right, so for those that are hungry, they are offering things like roast ox and venison and veal, goat, pork, bacon, rabbit, hot sausage and sauce, quail, pheasant, eels, for those of you that want a little bit of seafood, tripes, herring, pan-fried, longfin and other pleasures of the deep, cooked beans, eggs, goose, duck, chicken, exotic fowl.
This sounds suspiciously like
those are all
Scottish
like
fare.
dinner. If you're looking for lighter fare, more like a lunch, you can do things like cold meats, stews, soups, pasties, hot spiced or mild, pork pie, steak, and kidney pie.
God, I'm home.
And then for drinks, and this we'll say a waitress that you recognize or a servant that you recognize, a server, we'll call her, is Velino, is a human server. She has brown long hair, hangs over a lean kind of wild face, and it's somebody that you've recognized and has served you guys before. And she's just kind of saying the different things, just in case you had forgotten what you had. And there's also for drinks, there's ale, stout, mead, czar, sherry, almond brandy, fruit liquors, whiskey, fire wine, Elverquist, fine wines, and drinkables.
I'll have roast ox, cheese, bread, and your finest mead.
Nice.
Jarral will have the lamb and a bourbon.
All right.
Greybeard says more usual, which she knows is like bacon and sausages and the gravy and a big mead. And then he says, and that fruity stuff Tigray used to drink. That's his chair. And I just point at an empty chair.
Nice.
With the umbrella. The fruity stuff with the umbrella.
All right.
Coffee would like
Go
brie, several choices of bread, and your finest wine.
Oh, nice.
No coffee.
Oh, and I'll take a coffee with cream and sugar, please.
Coffee. She
You
looks
guys
at you
are crazy.
quizzically. Not sure what coffee is, but yeah.
We're on the
moving
ocean.
on.
I'm gonna have a plate of eels.
Oh, nice.
Same.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Ugh,
I'll get some eel
they squirm
in the
too much.
water.
All right.
That's how you know they're fresh.
Ugh.
Yep. So the eels are going to cost you guys 5 copper with water. If you want a different drink, we'll add something else in.
Do they
And
break gold
the-
pieces?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. The roast ox is going to cost you 1 silver piece. I heard somebody want veal.
And can I take the dinner out of the group's earnings from the quest? If everyone's okay with that.
Did we get paid yet, or was it a writ?
No. So when we were in the dungeon, we walked out with 12 gold pieces, 55 copper, 87 silver,
Ah,
and some other miscellaneous items that at some point we'll need to sell.
gotcha.
And that was because you were there.
Sure, take it.
Right, if I'm not paying, then order me some pie, some sweet pie, whatever. Maybe some cream on top.
So we all taking it out of the party
Here,
funds?
yeah. What I'll put the menu up here. Give me a sec.
I can deduct it from the
Okay.
party funds.
and I'll let you guys see it as a handout. Yeah, it's that one. Okay, so yeah, I'll put that out as a handout so you guys can see how much money it is. So you guys are sitting down, you're waiting for your food, your drinks have been brought. What is the party up to now? I assume you're going to discuss your plans at this point.
So Jarral says that he's going to need to do some things while in town. He's kind of gestures to his clothing and says that he's going to have to go find a tailor, and he's going to have to part ways briefly with the group after we leave. But while we're here, we probably should invest in some healing potions.
Absolutely.
I don't think we can afford.
Yeah, I pointed Ian and just kind of like nod, like she's got it.
How much are they?
Like 50 plus gold, right? Per?
Okay.
Expensive.
Well, we each have 100, so
You have 100. Go ahead and buy it
Well,
if you want it.
this is not my fault.
Yeah,
It
you
is. Some
can
of
you
us
know
are
that
selfish.
the price probably is going to range anywhere from, it could be, as low as 40 gold, but it also could be as expensive as 75, 80 gold. So it just depends what the market is, how many have been being bought, where you go, the different shops, what quality they are, that kind of thing. Just as a reference.
I want as a side note, this is one of the only places that Greybeard actually pays for drinks in the entire ward. Most places he just snarls at the barkeep and walks out.
Really?
Dining and ditching.
Oh no. He's got a bad reputation. It's his background thing he can do.
Gotcha.
Can't drink anywhere in Waterdeep.
No. He's got a bad reputation, so locals will let him get away with petty crimes and stuff because they don't want to cross his path.
Oh, so you drink for free basically everywhere but here.
Right. I make sure that this is, this is my place. This is where I have respect. Everywhere else is,
Chumps.
be, to the grimy deep with them.
We know, because someday you're going to own this place.
That's right.
We've heard this story before.
Tigre's Pudding Palace.
Yes.
Well, perhaps Coffee could locate some places in town to, I don't know, find a potion shop or a. I don't know who would
Yes.
sell something like that.
Well, I do plan on going to Radin's Maj Academy to research my spells. We'll look into that.
Oh my god, he's worse than Tigre.
I was gonna say, is that a purposeful accent?
I'm trying at least, people. Give
No.
it a break.
I'm cool with it. I like it. He
I was
sounds.
talking about the attitude.
Is he a little
Tigre.
more hoity-toity than Tigre was?
Oh, big time. He's a sun
Okay.
elf. He's worse.
Okay, so that's all right. That's the vibe I was getting. All right.
Gotcha.
He's a sun elf who held off a troll all by himself, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
He's like, potions? I don't plan on being hit.
Greybeard chuckles and snorts and eats a whole sausage.
Awesome. All right, you guys should have a menu handout now under the handout area. That will show you the prices.
Awesome. Oh, this is so cool. Thank you.
So feel free to order what you want. It's all being brought over to you and deduct whatever amount is appropriate for what you're trying.
You just said I was storing the money, not that I had to do math. Ardreth takes his shoes off and starts to count.
Your designated treasurer.
So everybody add up your bill and throw it at Ardreth in chat.
What is Elverquist? That stuff's expensive.
See that? Plate of screaming eels is the cheapest thing on the menu.
Nice.
Right?
Well, it's because they're screaming still. They're alive. They don't take much prep time.
That is the only way to eat them.
Damn, what's a 1 gold whiskey?
The good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like
That's-
ElverQuest.
Yeah, 20?
yeah,
You're going to be raking it in when this place is yours, Greybeard.
No kidding.
Heck yeah.
That's like the good shit, though. That's something you should be drinking, actually. Coffee black. That's the high-end elven shit.
I don't want to make my new companions feel...
I feel like you actually did it. want to make it obvious my disdain for them.
Well, two of you have a sack of gold, don't you?
A sack of gold. No, we have letters. We haven't turned them in yet. Speaking of,
No,
No,
I think coffee and
Yeah,
I
are
was gonna
rolling
say,
in
I
dough.
listened to that show.
I do look at Jarral and say, so Jarral, where do we need to go to turn these letters of writ in?
We need to go to. I did write it down.
Yeah. There's gonna be like a money changer shop. There's a bank, wasn't it?
Oh, is that
You
where
just
they go?
to
Okay.
Yeah, like a bank, and they could where they hold money.
And is
I
it
don't know
still
if I gave them the
daylight?
name. Yeah, it was noon when you guys walked in. You're probably sitting down and eating. By the time you're done eating, it's maybe 1 or 2 o'clock.
Okay.
But you have plenty of time to kind of discuss
Sure.
what the party wants to do, so we can kind of get an idea of where we're going.
Well, I plan on going to every tavern in the 2 wards and just beating everyone up for a while.
Sounds
So
like
we'll
you're gonna
collect
make
you
friends.
from the jail eventually.
That sounds productive.
Hey, I gotta learn a new skill somewhere.
Bail's coming out of your pocket.
Tavern brawling kung fu.
Isn't there? Yeah, can we just figure a tavern that like they have nightly brawls in the middle?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he'd be able to find several of those and do that. So yeah, you guys want to be thinking about. You're going to spend probably about 2 weeks here, getting trained for all the stuff that we've gotten up to 4th level.
Definitely going to the academy and definitely checking in with the Emerald Enclave.
I joined a little late. What happened with Tigray? Has anything happened yet?
He's dead.
Well, yeah, I got that.
What do you mean?
So Greybeard was bringing him back to, or I think he was bringing him back, or did we bury him?
No, he was buried.
Okay,
yeah,
so
he was buried at the beginning of last session.
All right, so so I suggest to Greybeard that perhaps you should visit Tigray's family before you engage in your extracurricular activities.
I look at Finn like questioning, like, you going with me?
Had you met his family?
Ooh, he had family in town. If he did, then I would assume, yeah, at some point I met them.
Were you that kid that he told them not to run around with?
I do
The bad
believe
influence.
I do believe we established that was a precedence.
Well, Finn's gonna eat, and that's gonna be his first stop out when he leaves here. So if if coffee's okay with that, as Tigray, then yeah. If you guys were buddies, then you
Yeah.
can travel with me.
Do you wish us to join you?
I don't think it's necessary. We can just have a moment with his family, let them know.
Yeah, I think that'll be good for Greybeard and Finn.
Don't need a whole gang of people showing up on her doorstep.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna
bad
head to
influence
the
and a
money
drow.
changer with a writ after we eat.
Yeah, so we can kind of fast forward through a little bit of this. We don't have to try to role play the whole thing out. Let's do this. We'll say, Ardreth, you quickly run. Maybe you're the first one done. You quickly run and you get the actual cash. So you have the coins from the writ, and you come back before everybody else is finished, so that we just get that out of the way real quick.
Can I leave it on deposit there, though?
Sure, it's like a bank.
Right. So I think I will do that with the 100 gold, because walking around with 100 gold may not end well. So if I can leave it in with deposit there, I'll just change it over to my name from the letter from the writ, so that it's actually being held by me.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
And you'll always be able to go to that place to get that money then.
Cool. Now I just got to remember
so
the
you can
name
just
of
mark
it.
that down. Right. And you can make up a name for a bank. It doesn't really matter. And so what we'll do is let's just break out into kind of training montages, or what you guys do for the 2 weeks. You're going to spend in probably training costs about 20 gold for your trainers or what you're doing. Just as an average out of pocket, this is what got you all through your levels from 1 to 4 at the end here. And you're going to spend 2 weeks, and you guys can come up with how you want to spend your 2 weeks doing that. And then the idea would either be at the end of 2 weeks, are you all going to leave and meet up with Jarral, or is Jarral going to have enough time to go and come back? And then from there, you can all leave from Waterdeep in 2 weeks. What's the plan as far as after the training has happened?
So Jarral's going to suggest that if everybody's going to Tribor, I need to go somewhere that's kind of halfway between here and there. So if we're going to go to Tribor, it's probably better for me to meet the party there.
Is it Red Larch or Westbridge?
It's west of there. Well, I mean, I'm making it west of there, but yeah, kind of like that's the halfway point. But it wouldn't make sense.
He's a Drow. It's Crypt Garden.
Oh, is that what that forest is?
I think it's called Crypt Garden.
Well, it's not a Drow thing. It's a monk thing.
Oh, okay.
You want to just meet us in Westbridge in 2 weeks?
Yeah, that would work. I mean, I'm gonna be in town here for a couple of days anyway, but then I'll have to leave.
Sure. So we'll meet you there.
Yeah. So at the end of the 2 weeks, let's say we'll meet up at Westbridge.
Cool. Don't die. Is what Ian would say to you.
I will try not to, is what Jarral will say to Ian.
So Greybeard gets a funny look, and he's like, "You sure you don't need anybody to watch your back? You're good."
I am good. Thank you.
You know, we might not be able to bail him out of the jail if he's here for 2 weeks. Maybe you could take him with you.
Yeah. That would save us a lot of money.
So Jarral, at that suggestion, kind of tenses up for a second. Anybody who is perceptive will kind of get an exasperated look out of him. He's not fond of that idea.
My guess is he wants to go on his own.
It's not so well. I guess it's more that he doesn't want to go with Greybeard.
Oh, snap!
And Greybeard is so imperceptive, he just thinks the Drow has to fart.
He's a little backed up.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think Greybeard would be entertained for the week that I'm going to be there.
What do you mean the monks only drink water?
You said you're okay. Good luck.
Well, I mean, it's a look that came across his face. He's considering it, though, because he does understand that Greybeard is probably not in a good place right now, and the monastery probably could help him.
Okay, this is Greybeard's standard order, and it's 3 silver pieces. 2 bacon order ×2, pork pie, hot sausages and gravy, mead, the big one, and stout, the big one. 3 silver pieces.
Nice.
All right. All has been counted on my toes and deducted from our treasury.
All right, so let's break into our training montage. You can, if you want to, do any of the shopping you need to do. We'll just do it real quickly, though. We won't role play it out too much, and we'll just kind of go from top to bottom here. So, Ian, over the next 2 weeks, you're hanging out in Waterdeep. You're acquiring your 4th level abilities, and we'll even say you're practicing some of the new abilities you've got. You found a trainer somehow, some way, probably putting you on the spot of how you're going to do this. And if there's anything you want to buy, let me know. But what does Ian do for her 2 weeks? And realize that you're going to spend 20 gold either by buying additional equipment for your training, or paying your trainer who's showing you something, or donating to a trainer if they're giving it to you for free or whatever. It's just a cost you'll take off of the top.
So before we break off, I hand Finn the $100 writ for Tigray that I got, and I let him decide what he wants to do with the 100, whether he gives it to the family, he keeps it, whatever. On the second note, I don't have 20 gold. I have a solid 10, so I get a solid 10 gold of training and whatever I do.
You get half trained. They forget the last
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, exactly. I get half trained.
From the party
But you
gold,
can take
got
a-
your split, yeah, right?
I could give you a government assisted loan if you'd like.
What does the party have? I don't know what you're carrying.
Total after dinner, we have.
After dinner.
Well, you got to take it all out. Hold on a sec here.
Well, it's also going to cover your nights of staying
We
in
have
the inns and things like
12 gold, 43 copper, 81 silver. We've got a silvered salt and pepper set for which is roughly, who knows what it'll be worth, but 25 gold. Thieves' tools, 25 gold. A holy symbol of Sylvanus, 25 gold. And a ring and necklace from the troll dude, which we don't know how much that one's worth yet. I just wrote down troll dude because I couldn't remember anything else that night.
that. Yeah, do you want to hawk those real quick and we'll just turn that
Yeah,
into liquidate?
I can
it?
hawk
give
those
me
and turn them
Let's see.
I will always cast detect magic before we hawk anything.
Yeah,
just in
yeah,
case.
none of this is magical. Let me go to your character sheet and pick a skill that sounds appropriate here. They don't have a haggling skill, do they?
So we only have 12
Persuasion?
gold?
Persuasion
Yeah.
is I'm good with persuasion.
Yeah, we'll do a persuasion roll. So give me a
Okay,
good persuasion
there you go.
roll. Let's see. So 13 is pretty good. So you're right in the middle with that roll. So let's say you get that that number that's in parentheses. You just liquidate it right into gold. So if it
All right,
said
but then what does it
25,
do for the so there were two other pieces there. The 25 would be for the salt and pepper shakers, the thieves' tools, and the holy symbol of Sylvanus. But there's a ring and a necklace that we had as well that were in the or in the coach that the trolls had done.
Let's see. So the ring
To roll them all.
was a 5 gold piece ring.
Okay.
And that's what you got for it. And then the necklace was 8 gold piece necklace.
Okay.
And this was, you got these off of the from
Was
the
the
troll
dead
attack. They had attacked a noble, and it was what was left on 2 of the nobles.
Okay.
They were dead of the dead bodies.
Did they have any fine clothing on them as well?
Nothing that wasn't shredded and completely
Gotcha.
covered in
Okay, in
gore.
blood and gore and gook. All right. So that means we have 100 gold pieces, 43 copper, and 81 silver amongst us.
So I take that government loan.
That seems really low.
Oh yeah,
I
we didn't get
didn't-
anything.
All right, that's what we had.
No, I'm
Okay.
not disputing
The only
that.
thing we found was it was in that separate room when I found the bag of holding,
Yeah. I'm just
and that was
That was
it.
I'm just
Yeah, it
thinking
wasn't
that
much.
if it's like 20 gold for each of us, I mean, without those
I
writs.
know we got a stingy DM.
Hey, So basically,
Or we have a
that's all of our-
stingy graybeard.
It's all of our training. Oh, I gave all that money away. Everything I stole.
Oh, that's right.
He did.
How much was it?
I won't take any.
Just out of curiosity, how much was that?
2,000 gold.
It was like 41 silver pieces and 17 copper pieces, something ridiculous like that. But then I gave away my 100 gold writ.
Yeah, not even counting the writ though. Still okay. All right.
Well, you were given 20 gold to take the quest Daphne gave you.
But
Oh,
she
were
never
we?
paid us,
Shit,
did
really?
she?
Yeah, I
Oh,
told you
okay.
she gave you.
Oh, I didn't know
20
that.
gold to-
I thought we were still getting paid. I grumbled about it at one point.
So don't write it down and just treat it as
Yeah, my training costs. Good deal.
Here you go.
Sweet. Oh, so I still have 10
And then
gold.
you all were offered, remember the writs, but some of you gave it back to help the town, although you would have been offered more money.
Jarral and I look at each other going, not so smart now, huh?
That's what I told Greybeard. Not my
so
fault.
it's not like you weren't getting money.
Well-
Some charity had happened and you gave some back.
I was just
Coffee and I
saying-
got there
was
late
just
to the
saying I
party,
was great.
so we
You
didn't
get,
get any
a,
money.
you get a sense of
Yeah, except the big bag you have. Sorry, metagaming.
it's not our fault you developed a set of or conscience.
All right. Well, let's at least get one of these training montages out of the way. We're gonna do our break, come back, finish everybody else's montage up, which explains why we're at 4th level and what abilities we have, and then we can actually get back to our Storm King's Thunder here. So, Ian, let's go ahead just before break. Tell us a little bit about how you spend, what kind of trainer you find, what are the things you do, and go ahead and tell us out of character a little bit what type of abilities and things you picked up for your 4th level.
So I find a wood elf I don't hate in the town, and who hopefully has the skills I need. I assume so. They're not that.
We'll say it takes you 2 days to find a wood elf you don't hate.
You know, that's actually pretty good. That's actually a pretty good amount of time. So I go and I already go in knowing a little bit about what I need to do, because I spoke to Armel a little bit about it before he left and while we were there, and all his healing magic based off of nature. And so what I do is I get taught Cure Wounds, and which replaces one of my other spells. And then I also improve on a skill that I've been working on for a very long time. I just couldn't get the hang of it. And finally this wood elf, Woody, he helps me.
Woody.
Yeah, he gives me the hint, like the thing that finally broke the camel's back, that, oh yeah, that's how you do it. And so I learned how to, I become way more perceptive, just being able to go through life more perceptive. And I also have now finally mastered the skill of being able to read or understand what someone is saying just by reading their lips. I no longer have to actually listen to them speak. I can just look at their lips and I know what it is, as long as I know the language. So, and I think that's, and I've become a little bit more wise, I guess. But I think that's all I got for 4th level. So, yeah. And so, out of game, I guess, I picked up the Observant feat from 4th level, which, as like I said, as long as I could see a creature's mouth while it's speaking a language I understand, I can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips. And I have a +5 bonus to my passive perception, or passive wisdom. And the weird, never spoken of ever again other than here. I also get a +5 to my passive intelligence, in parentheses, investigation. Who knows what that means, but I have it. And I got a +1 to my wisdom. And I got Cure Wounds. I switched out one of my spells. Because we don't heal anything in this group. Oh, and I got stronger. I got 10 extra hit points.
All right. And the trainer name that you found was Almar Dawn Fury.
Ooh.
And that white, well-groomed hair slightly reveals kind of a rounded, worried face, small gray eyes, set graciously within their sockets. You see a sword left a mark stretched from the top of his left cheek down to near his mouth. Yeah, and his eyes are very piercing. Very light frame. All right. Awesome. So basically, you picked your feat. You picked some abilities that you got with 4th level. Was there any gear you're going to be needing real quick?
Oh shit! Yeah, I need arrows. I pick up. How much are arrows?
All right. Arrows. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll. We'll say you go out to the
good.
shops and you're going to pick up some arrows. We'll see how well you haggle.
Can I go to a shop where that Woody? Sorry, his name isn't Woody. Almar Dawnfury recommended to me.
Definitely. Yeah.
Maybe help out this roll because I have a -2 on them. Oh, good. Oh no, that's performance. Never mind. That's performance. You said persuasion. The other P.
Yeah, persuasion. The other P one.
There you go. 14. That is bad.
All right, and so that's good. That's above average. So we're gonna say. So a grouping of 20 arrows would be 1 gold piece.
Okay.
So you can buy as many as you wish. Realistically, you probably wouldn't try to carry hundreds of them, but.
Let's see. So 20 arrows for 1 gold piece. So I'll take. I have 10 gold left. Let's say 5 is 100. I'll take 100 and I'll throw some in Ardreth in the bag of holding.
Okay. Yep, so go ahead and mark it down. And
Awesome.
you're all set. Anything else besides arrows?
Backpack, water skin. No, I think that is it.
Awesome.